is Jan. And she's actually going to be talking about what they call ORCIP, or the Oregon Conservation Partnership.
Do we have the notes?
Yeah, let me
Or do you want to do?
And Jan, you might want to pull that down. Yeah.
So that people can hear me?
It's for those of us that are short, need to pull it down.
Is it the PDF, man?
Pardon?
Is your the PDF?
Yeah,
Not the-
that's
okay.
it. Right.
Do you want to run the?
Sure, I could if I have the mouse.
Okay. Yeah, it's the wheel and it's
Oh, use.
a roll, not a click.
Okay.
Ron's an expert. He can show you.
I'm also happy to do that for you.
Okay. I
Just
think
give me.
I'll try it.
Okay.
So I'm here today to talk about the Oregon Conservation Partnership. This is a capacity grant that's funded by OWEB. I used to be on the OWEB board, but I had to leave the board to come and work for OACD. So, so it funds work that the four of our organizations do together. There's the Network of Oregon Watershed Councils, or NOWC. There's COLT, Coalition of Oregon Land Trusts, OACD, and then OCEAN, the network for the employees of districts. Moves very quickly. So NOWC represents, I think, about 90 watershed councils who are funded by OWEB. And many of them work in conjunction with districts as partners. There's 45, or 46 now, counting the tribal district of Peachum, that are soil and water districts that OACD represents. No, it's not working. And then the Coalition of Oregon Land Trusts has 14 trusts located around the state. And one of the things that we do is we retain a public relations firm in Portland, Guard Communications, which are highly regarded. And we feed to them stories about districts, councils, and land trusts. And they've been able to place them in the media, with the OPB and with other local newspapers, etc. So we're like an additional PR arm for OWEB in that regard. Sometimes it works. And sometimes
It needs to be in the actual document.
it should be up in the box.
Yeah.
And then OCEAN, that you're all familiar with, puts on the Connect conference each year. So that was just held in September. If I remember correctly, there were over 200 people, over 100 just from districts alone.
How do you move the mouse over? 'Cause, the mouse. Oh, the mouse, there you go. Oh, okay.
Still not ready to do this.
It's in the top right corner. Bring it down
Oh,
to the
I
middle.
see. So what do I get?
Bring it to the center of the screen. There you go.
Oh.
There you go. Bring it down.
I think you can use the wheel.
Yeah, the wheel doesn't work.
What is
Oh, there we go. So for the land trusts, you can see that they represent about 371,000 acres of land that they are protecting in Oregon right now. And one of the projects that Colt has done is put together annually a brochure called State of the Lands that's published each year, and it also represents some of the projects that districts have done. So each of our partners have a number of projects that are funded each year in that capacity grant. And this is the one that Colt has accomplished. So one of the other things that we all do collectively is we put on legislative tours for not only legislators, but local community leaders and people who are working with the districts and with the councils. And this year, in addition to the tour, we worked together with NALCE to put on a legislative training at Connect. So that's what this slide represents. And now, be an easier way to do this.
Would you like me-
Mouse down.
Yeah,
Arrow.
hey, Jen, how about, why don't
Yeah,
you give it back to Tom and then he maybe he
Right.
can just say next page.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Works well with the button, but it doesn't work so well with it.
So, but,
Okay, and this was one of the Watershed Council tours. They did one this year in the John Day area and another one in the Upper Willamette. Yeah. And then this is OACD's legislative tour where we took Representative Helm, Senator Dembro, Ken from the OAHP Commission and Taylor Larson from OAHP and a number of other people out to the 33,000 Imperial Stock Ranch in Maupin. And we looked at where they had put together a conservation project that results in carbon sequestration. And tomorrow you'll hear from Dr. Talbot, who set up the measurement and modeling system for that. Yes. The other major project that we're working on deals with our carbon sequestration hub that's underway and should be finished next summer. The part of it that will be, basically the hub is funded by the NRCS grant we have. But in addition to that, under the capacity grant, we will be doing a guidebook for carbon sequestration and a couple workshops around the state to promote it. And I think that is my last slide.
It is.
Okay, and I also want to acknowledge that we work closely with ORCAN, who will be coming up next on a number of issues. And we also work with our other members in NACD and the State Executives Association. And so today we have with us Tom as well, Tom Salzer, and I'm attending his conference up in Washington. So we're doing a trade to let you know what each of our organizations are doing. So thanks.
Thanks, Jen.